Hey, how's it going, guys? This is your boy Hazzed, and today we are on the beta slash alpha, whatever you want to call it, of World of Warcraft Legion. Basically, I'm on the Frosty K, and they've re-rolled the talents on a Frosty K multiple times, so they're completely different than where they had it. So I'll show you guys what's up with that, what I'm kind of doing for this. This is going to be level 100. Basically, I'm going to compare it how it was, before, because before it was bad. It was terrible before. Like, I was struggling getting through these quests. I was like, what is going on here? It was not great. But I'm thinking we'll definitely do better now. We'll have higher damage and probably a bit more burst, so it's gonna be pretty good. So let's go ahead and kill some stuff. So the talents we're using, basically the 56 talent is going to be Shattering Strikes, which is going to consume 5 stacks of Razor Ice to increase your Frost Strike damage by 50%. And I like to use that as kind of the finisher, which is really awesome at the end of this burst, because you know there's going to be 5 stacks. And I'll explain how that works and how you're going to do this. The level 57 talent, I'm using Frozen Pulse, which basically causes your melee attacks when you are out of runes to basically deal a lot of damage. So how are you going to be runic starred? We're going to use a lot of obliterates. So that's going to fit into why I'm using kind of the first one. Now you're thinking, why are you using murderous efficiency? Because killing machine has a chance to gain a rune. Well, it's only 10%. 10% is kind of meh. So I mean, I'm not going to go there right now. I don't believe it worked quite as well, and I'll show you why. Now, Freezing Fog is pretty good. I was tempted to go with that. The AoE damage might be insane in BGs and stuff, so I'll play with that a little bit later once I'm into the PvP, since, the PvP server's not up right now. I wish it was. But, I'm kind of toying around on here and showing you guys this stuff. The other thing was Horn of Winter. I was tempted, but no, it's not what I'm looking for. I'll be able to keep up my runic power pretty well. And that's, honestly, 30-second cooldown. It's pretty strong, but I don't think it's going to fit into what I'm trying to achieve here. Level 58, Ice Cap. I mean, it sounds cool. Your Frost Strike can obliterate crits, reduce the remaining cooldown of Pillar Frost by a second. I mean, it's crits only. If it was just hits, it'd be pretty crazy. But since it's crits, it's going to be kind of hard. I know Killing Machine. But I can only imagine you may reduce it by 20 seconds or so. But that would also offset the cooldown of your trinket, so it may not be good. I mean, we'd really have to see. And we got Hungering Rune Weapon, which basically empowers your rune weapon, gaining 1 rune, 5 runic power instantly every 1.5 seconds for 9 seconds, which is kind of cool. I thought about going with that, but again, not what I'm looking for. Basically, there's like 3 different talents on this talent list you can choose from to be like a runic slash rune giver. And, you really only need one to kind of get your burst on, and I'll show you which one I chose later on, but that's one of them. That's Runic Gainer. Now, I chose out of the 58 talents, Avalanche. Now, why Pillar of Frost is active, your melee critical strikes cause jagged icicles to fall on your nearby enemies, dealing, damage. Alright, so that's pretty sweet. Knocking ice on the guy is going to do more damage. Now, you're noticing the Frozen Pulse and the Avalanche are kind of like consistent damage, like dot damage. So you're starting to see we have kind of build-up damage, a lot of dot damage, and, keeping our melee up. We're going to basically hit somebody a lot. Now, kind of dual wield is supposed to be like that, so I'm kind of, it's kind of normal after doing this. But as it was before, we were laying out giant Frost Strike crits, and they were like, well, that's not what we really wanted. Yeah. Level 60 talent. We're going with Abomination's Might. Well, for PvE, for PvP, I wouldn't use this because it only dazes players, which dazing might be cool for some classes, but we'll have to see. But basically stuns them to the ground. I mean, that's cool for PvE. Like, you get a stun out of Obliterate that you spam all the time. That'll be great. I mean, why not? Now, the other 2 is basically it blinds people, disorients them. That may be better for Arena, definitely, because that's like a 4-second CC, that blinding sheet. That's going to be pretty sweet. Then also, we got Winter is Coming. Enemies struck 5 times by Remorseless Winter while your Pillar of Frost is activated or stunned for 4 seconds. So basically, you're going to be using that during burst. And it's kind of nice that they're leading that together, because it's going to teach people how to CC correctly with that ability. Because, you're not going to use it as much outside of the burst. Definitely within the burst. Alright, so level 75 talent. Now this one sounds kind of cool, but I didn't like the fact that it actually expires and you no longer gain runic power from your AMS, basically. I didn't like that part of it. Now, absorbing more damage and expires deals 25% of the damage back on the person can be pretty crazy, I could imagine, for PvP. But I don't like the fact we can't gain runic power. Now, for PvE, I'm not going to use that. I'm going to be using Permafrost, which, it just adds a little shield on you equal to 30% of your melee damage, which is, yeah, definitely PvE status. Probably go with either that shield, maybe. And we get a DC. Hold on, we're gonna have to finish this. Last one is White Walker. Now, White Walker basically reduces damage taken while using Wraith Walk is active. Now, Wraith Walk's kind of cool, but I didn't use that ability because apparently, see, where was it at? During this time, removes impairing effects or suppresses. Kind of cool. It's really good. It'd be used for mitigating damage and closing distance. But, I mean, I didn't really want to go with that because Permafrost for PvE. I mean, White Walker might be cool for PvP if you really need to mitigate damage. It's a new ability. I'll check this out, guys. Basically, pop up like this and you, like, hover around. I don't know. It kind of reminds me of Diablo Leoric, or not Leoric, was it? King Leoric, isn't it? He just flies around and hits people with that big mace. But, yeah, I was like, there's even more skills that kind of reminds me of Diablo. That's kind of crazy. But anyways, I definitely went with Permafrost for PvE. The level 90 talent, I'm gonna go with Room of the Runic. Auto attacks gain 1 runic power. Basically, just the auto attacks. The auto attacks are amazing for DKs now, apparently. But basically, your auto attacks gain 1 runic power. So every time he hits with a melee auto attack, we're gonna gain a large amount of runic power, which is going to feed us. Now, Frost Scythe, guys. Frost Scythe is really cool. It's really cool, and it can hit quite hard. Now, testing out in PvP, maybe BGs, it'll be kind of cool to get that AoE pressure, but I can't quite know right now, but I can imagine it could be. We could maybe make some cool clips with that. I'm really excited to use that, but as for now, I'm definitely going to go with the runic because I'm trying to maximize my pressure burst, so we don't feel so gimpy in damage. I definitely want to hit somebody hard and fast. Alright, so the last one is Gathering Storms. Each rune spent during Remorseless Winter increases its damage by 10% and extends it by 0.5 seconds. That's pretty cool. Basically, you can get your Remorseless Winter to hit somebody for basically the amount of an Obliterate. So it's almost like you're hitting them with Obliterate at the same time, but it wasn't that great. I didn't really enjoy it too much, so gonna have to test that out in PvP later on and see how I like it, but I can't say I like that one as much as the other one, definitely. Now for level 100 talents, we have Obliteration. Now this one's really cool. I didn't choose this one because how everything works together, and I'll show you why soon. For the next 8 seconds, every Frost Strike hit triggers Killing Machine, and Obliterate costs 1 less rune. So basically you just get to spam the living crap out of Obliterate, and it's crit city. And it's a 1.5 minute cooldown, so you basically be able to use it, and then it'll be offset, and you'll probably have to wait either 30 seconds to use it again, or you can use it again within, but of course it'll be kind of a burst outside, or kind of bad to use it outside of burst. Now we got Glacial Advance. This is really cool. It's just like this spike comes out of the ground and hits somebody for, like 22,000 damage. But honestly, it's like it hits. It's on a cooldown. It costs 1 rune, so it disrupts your rotation. You can add it in, and it might work pretty good. But personally, I'm gonna go with Breast of Sindragosa if I'm going to maximize my damage. And basically, the reason is everything builds into this. The melee pressure, the melee hits, all the frost damage, all that stacks up together. And of course, the finisher Shattering Strikes we throw in at the end to deal a huge amount of Frost Strike crit damage as a finisher. I'm hoping this is going to be great in PvP. I don't know. We're going to have to see. But anyways, it's going to just put all of our bursts together. So let's go ahead and get on this mob. Hopefully we can burst him down pretty fast. He took quite a bit. He's got like 560k health. So he is quite tanky. What we're going to do is kite him out to begin with. Do our little hippity hop thing. Why? Because we need that runic power to burst. Now, I'm also saying, guys, we have less healing than we did before, so we're definitely going to have to rely on more survivability. He's popping Avatar. We'll just kite him out a little longer, just in case. Rely on kiting and, taking a lot more advantage of our mechanics than just relying on our healing, really. So I'll go on this guy now. So what we're going to do is we're going to obliterate him once to start hitting him a little bit. Use that Frost Strike crit, or that Howling Blast proc, and he's whirlwinding, so I'm going to wait a second. Now I'm going to go in. This one I'm going to use full burst. I'm going to throw up the Remorseless Winter, and I'm going to full burst with breath and use the obliterates to gain a ton. Now I'm going to use Empowered Rune Weapon to keep my stuff maxed out, and I'm going to use some... Oh, Bladestorm, we got to watch out for that. But basically, we were able to stay in on him. Our burst was pretty crazy there. That was a lot faster than it was before. Honestly, we basically could just ignore the mechanics. So that was a lot better. Before I had to strategically run around a lot, cry like a little girl. And I think I even died a couple times. But that's how I'm kind of maximizing the burst, is just kind of clumping everything together and proccing them and hitting somebody really hard. And maximizing Breath of Sindra goes. I think there's even times where you could use more Frost Strikes in between there, because it looks like we're maximized on it, but it's going to take a bit more practicing and continuation to really figure it out. Quite excited to play the PvP, but as the DKs feel right now, I'd say they are 10 times better than they were before. They've like redesigned us like four times now or something crazy since it first came out. It's been a while since I've tinkered with them, and yeah, basically that's what I've come up with. As for honor talents and stuff, I'll know once I'm able to tinker with that, guys. I'll make guides on that and stuff for upcoming Legion. But anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for this little update video. What we got going on for level 100 DK beta. Hoping PvP comes up by tomorrow or something, or pretty soon, because I really want to get in there. I really want to go PvP at 100. Let us do it, Blizzard. Anyways, guys, the next time, this was your boy Hazzed.